Feel ready?
Yeah, we've had a great preseason. Uh, Sprinkling of new players on our group. So going to Japan and then the Blitz really helped us just figure out a little bit who we are as a team, but more importantly, how the new guys can fit in with the bulk of the returners.
Dylan Windler has had the limited minutes. What's he now on track for now that he's got through the week?
Yeah, look, it's been his first full week of practice, so we'll go ahead as normal.
How is as normal?
Well, you've seen how I coach. I go on how they're playing. We'll certainly be starting our five that we have been throughout the preseason, and we'll bring him along and go from there.
Have you seen enough of him to know where he'll fit within your group and what you want him to be able to do from a role perspective?
I saw enough in July when I saw him in Vegas.
What about with his teammates, I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. He's fit in very well. The style of play that he naturally gravitates towards and the style of play that we are, I think, is a very good fit.
And given that no one's really seen him playing with you guys yet, is that an advantage for when he has come on? He's looked impactful straight away.
I'm sure there's a little bit where you might catch some guys off guard every now and then, but he's played in the NBA the last 4 years in a particular role. I actually want him to be more aggressive and probably play a little bit more how he was in college. So it's going to be, a relearning, recalibrating for him to get that aggressive mindset versus running to the corners, shooting spot-up threes, and then crashing to rebound, because his versatility and his skill set allows him to do a little bit more than that.
So from what people would have seen of him, how was that? Can you explain that college stuff a bit more?
Oh, like he was needed to perform at a high level every night at the college level, and his performance really drove their results to a huge degree. So I want the Dylan Windler that's an impactful player.
JR just obviously signed a new 3-year deal. What does that give you in terms of not just security, but also, I guess, strength of confidence in your job over the next 3 years in your recruiting and in your coaching of the players?
Look, I think it's a good step in the continuity of our franchise. We retained all of the staff, a good portion of our roster for the first time in a long time with the Wildcats, even like before my time here. So I think you saw in the preseason guys familiar with each other on the floor, and just the way we are as coaches and so forth, for guys to understand what our expectation is on a daily basis.
Have you got a pass mark on this season, or are your expectations lifted now?
Look, it's the Perth Wildcats. There's only one expectation.
Ifan Almanza, how prepared is he to make an impact straight away, and will we see him get better and more involved as the season goes on?
You're very excited to see where his season ends, because what he's done so far in the preseason and his time with us has been impressive. Work ethic, willingness to do the little extra stuff, improve, great competitive drive about his nature. So I expect him to have impact, which will not necessarily show up statistically every night.
You've got a bit of a logjam, I guess, in having such a talented roster. How do you manage guys like Elijah Pepper, Ben Henschel, all look talented, all look like they could start on other teams, but because you're so deep, you've got to try and manage who plays where?
That's why I signed the 3-year deal, is to figure that out. So, look, I would prefer to have talent at my disposal and having to go the other way. They've done a great job so far in making the most of their opportunity. When we talk about, and the guys that you want to circle are the young guys, is they've done a great job in the off season becoming better professionals. What do I mean by that? When you're young, you feel like you've got to solve the world's problems immediately instead of just tinkering away and figuring out what's really important, and all those guys have done a good job with that.
JR, your team has a ton of continuity from obviously last season to this season. Are you noticing that through the preseason and through practices now?
Yeah, and like it's just not the players, it's the coaches. You don't have to spend as much time explaining, so practices can go a lot smoother in that way, because those guys take ownership of it and can direct the new guys. So we certainly see it. I haven't studied the league close enough, but I'm fortunate enough I can start 5 guys that started for us last year. So that's a nice advantage to have at this beginning of the season.
You guys have a clean bill of health going into this first game?
Yeah, we do.
What's it like being the head coach of the Perth Wildcats and having basically the entire basketball community, nationally, internationally, just descend into your town?
I'm fortunate because I can go and climb in my own bed of a night once we get done with the shenanigans that go on.